It's the Rome Show featuring Miss Prue.
You know, listeners, welcome. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Jeff Carroll. Mr. Jeff Carroll, how you doing?
All right, I'm doing real good. What's up?
There he is. There he is. We doing good over here. We got Miss Prue here and everything with us on Raw Still Radio, the Rome Show featuring Miss Prue.
Well, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody.
Hey, Jeff,
Happy New Year.
New Year.
So, Jeff, we are discussing a couple of things actually. I kind of, I lured Mr. John Hines, who gives us the wellness report on a weekly basis. I lured him into telling us if a female, if people who are of the same physical, stature, if they're attracted to each other, and or does it mean that they have to be in the gym together, or with an out of shape person, normally like a person who's not in shape, or who is in shape, and vice versa. And Jay Hines, he really couldn't give me an answer to that. And everything.
I gave you an answer.
Oh, Joe, you said they have to fit into them jeans. You did, right? You did say that, Mr. Jay Hines.
Yeah, and I told him that jeans come in all sizes up to size 30.
But I'm pretty sure that Mr. Jeff Carr can tell us that it ain't got nothing to do with the jeans. It got to do with your manners and what you're going to do and everything on that date. So, let us know. What's the right and wrong things to do on a date?
Well, you're talking about being attracted to each other physically, first of all, and I think that's natural. I mean, that's all we see from each other is the physical attributes. You don't get a chance to know what's inside the beauty or the beyond the skin deepness until you start talking to them. So I think after that, the most important thing is to really communicate, share yourself as much as you can, because you can't bring your mother on your date with you. You know what I'm saying? Only you can tell people about who you are. So you have to be the best representative of you can be, and that is practicing how to introduce yourself, being brushing up on everything you like, your dislikes, and all that, and being your best person, and then allowing that person to be who they are and not talking too much.
All right. So, Rome, how do you introduce yourself when you first meet a woman?
Well, when I was in that position and everything, when I first met, I just walked it, hey, hi, that's it.
Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, Mr. Jeff Carroll, as an expert, what does hi do for you?
I mean, hi, the way he said it sounded a little bit corny, but if you tell something corny, like a corny joke, don't think it's funny. As long as you know it's corny, then that's cool. But if you tell something corny and you think it's cool, that's corny. That's a turn off. So the way you said hi, that's cool, but don't leave it flat. Be ready to be, on it. You know what I'm saying? And again, I don't know how you looking. I don't know how how you have your energy, but you don't always even if you are Brad Pitt, Trey Songz, or Idris Elba, you don't want to rely on your looks. You want to be able to
I'm all three. I'm all three of those one. Yeah.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? So you want to be able to give them a little bit more than just, your physical. So you want to let them know who you are. So, you use that hi as an introductory, but if they don't take the bait, you got to follow it up with something after that.
Oh, okay. Mr. Hines, how do you greet a woman?
I mean, it depends on the situation.
Oh, boy.
What do you mean, oh, boy? I mean, if I'm on an elevator and I'm like, wow, it's like a dial moment here, and there's people around and I get a then, it just kind of eases entree.
He ain't going to say that.
Something funny. It's got to be relevant or funny.
I mean, I'm going to... No, go ahead.
So there's ways to approach a person that you like, even amongst their friends and amongst a group of people. If they're older people or even if they're younger people, you have to identify some qualities in that person that make that person separate from the other people that are in there. So If it is a young lady, she may be taller than the young ladies. She may be shorter than them. She may have dark hair. She may have light hair. She may have curly hair. She may have a dress. They may have pants. You have to find something that is unique about them so that way you can say something that relates to that uniqueness, sort of get that individual to respond to you. Even if you don't do it verbally, you could do it physically. You know what I'm saying? You could say, excuse me, you know what I'm saying? Or I see, or you recognize what they're looking at. Make eye contact with them. Those are the type of things that you can use when you're in a group setting to sort of get your individual separate from that group and make your approach. Because you do have to know who you want to target, or else you're not going to be as successful as you could be.
Wow, so you're almost assessing the women. Or assessing the men or women.
Whether it's a man or a woman, whatever your target is, make sure you identify your target and think of all the different things that you can do to get that target's attention and get them to respond to you. Because if you're interested in meeting somebody, they have to know you're interested in meeting them. Mm-hmm. You could be the most personable Jamie Foxx guy in an elevator with a crowd of people, but none of them will know you are interested in them until you express that interest. So not only do you have to be interesting and attractive, you've got to identify who that energy is going towards, or else it just goes off in the air in the elevator and nobody picks up on it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to be straight up honest. I'm going to be straight up. I'm more of a shy guy. I'm more of a guy who, I might shoot a quick jab out there, but I've never, when I was in a dating scene and anything, I wasn't really trying to shoot the jab and anything because I was trying for her to bite the hook. I just shoot the jab and say if she bites it, she bites it. If she don't, then I'm leaving. One of those type of things,
And that's good, for people, because when you put yourself out there, the more you put yourself out there, the more rejection you have to deal with. However, I do say, sure, you can rely on your looks, sure, you can rely on the environment, you can pray to God, but in reality, the more you find yourself being aggressive, saying hello to people, learning how to introduce yourself, learning how to make conversation, everything about your relationship will be better. Because if you, I remember when I got my, I bought a cheap Wrangler, Laredo, let it out and put some rims on it, and I was really attractive to a lot of young ladies. That was just a superficial attraction. The quality of relationship still depended on who I was, because me owning a Jeep was only a certain level of me. Who I really am was beyond that. And for me to really have a deep connection with a woman or an individual, you have to be able to bond on something deeper than just your dimples, your pecs, your your car, your money. You know what I'm saying? Your swag. Mm-hmm. A quiet swag person is still a quiet person. For sure. So you have to open it up. I mean, and mind you, some people will get people, but I'm just saying you'll be able to get more when you're able to maximize your ability to converse and talk to people. And I'm not talking about going overboard and becoming a slick talker and some verbal hustler. You don't need to go that far. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But you do need to be able to, introduce yourself to the people that's out there, because, two shy people ain't going to meet each other, and they may be perfect for each other.
Wow. Now, Jeff, I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
If you're a woman and, you're looking for the perfect guy, what should you be doing prior to looking for that man? What should you be doing as an individual?
Well, I don't
believe HDL levels.
Okay. I'll say this. I don't believe in soulmates, right? I do believe in people that have a lot of common interests and a lot of attraction, learning how to be, to work together and to be a couple. So that being my basis, I will say your perfect individual has something in common with you. He's somebody that you're physically attracted to, but physically attracted people are found everywhere. If you're not into mountain climbing and you find a physically attracted a person you're physically attracted to climbing mountains, that doesn't do good. So what I say is learn who you are and look for people that you're attracted to in the areas of life that you do. But you can't find those people if you're not doing what you like to do. So first, you have to know what you like to do and then do it. And whatever it is you like to do, there will be people that you may be attracted to there. You can go to the grocery store, but if you're in the area of food that you like to eat, you understand?
Yeah.
But if you're a whole food eater and you find somebody in the cereal aisle, y'all might not be as much of a match as somebody that's in the vegetables and whole foods like you. You understand?
Right.
Yeah, that's funny that you mentioned that, because I was reading one of your blogs, and it says places to meet women who want to get met.
Oh,
and so you mentioned events, activities, tourist places, malls, happy hours, weddings, cafeterias, public transportation, food courts, parks, exercise groups.
Now that was one for men. I also have another list for women called How to Meet a Man During the Holidays. But basically, the whole philosophy revolves around. I have this way of organizing it called the venue menu. It sounds real cool and real slick, but what it means is every venue, every activity has qualities that attract the people to those events or venues. So once you understand that, you'll be able to see that a certain type of person goes to certain places. And mostly, I mean, you'll find a lot of people at bars. You'll find a lot of people at nightclubs. You know, you'll find a lot of guys at strip clubs. But for the guys that go to strip clubs regularly, they're different than the guys that don't go to strip clubs.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
I got two.
Different. Go ahead.
No, I'll let you finish. I got two things. Go ahead.
No, but I'll say you'll find a different guy on choir practice than you will on Bible study. You'll find a different Christian at a Bible study than you will on Sunday service. So it depends on your level of involvement. And that's just, church, but everywhere. I mean, I mostly speak on college campuses, so I break the whole college campus environment down, because you got different people at the cafeteria than you have at the gym, than you have in the library, than you have at registration, or the administration building. You know what I'm saying? So you have to kind of break all those different energies down, because really you have to know who you are. And the better you know yourself, the better you'll be able to find that perfect person for you.
Right. I got two things. First, hey, we got a caller. I want to let the caller say what ask, because I know they probably want to ask a question. But before we even get the call on, I want to know, like, you're known as a hip hop dating coach. Why hip hop?
Okay. Yes, I get that a lot, and it was a deliberate term to create something that didn't step on existing cultures and existing religions. I'm not teaching a Christian dating class or a Muslim dating class or Jewish dating class. I wanted to do something that spoke to everybody, because those existing systems already are out there. And the reason why we have a 45% divorce rate is because people is dating outside of their religion. They're dating outside of their culture. And when they do that, most of these religions require the person to convert to the religion. So now they have nothing to go by. And hip-hop was multicultural for me. It was something, when we started off DJing, we didn't have hip-hop beats. We DJ'd over Kraftwerk, which is a Euro electro beat out of England, you know what I'm saying? And they made Soul Sonic Force, Planet Rock. And then we did Tito Puente out of the Caribbean. We did James Brown out of rural South, and all of those different energies are what made hip-hop beats and the music hip-hop. So when I did hip-hop dating, I took from all of these different cultures of the things that worked and said, this is a good idea that the Native Americans use. This is a good idea that the Christian which is in the Bible. This is taken from the Torah. This is taken from the Quran. This is from Egypt. And these are all good ideas. So this will put a good system. And actually, I came up with something that's actually even more complete than what we learn in Christian churches.
Okay.
It's not as thorough as Islam or Judaism because they're very strict, and I really wanted to keep mine flexible. But that's where it came from. I started off as a DJ, if you can't tell, and I understood how to blend and mix musics, and really what I did was blend and mix cultures, to come up with something uniquely hip-hop.
That's what's up. Well, we got a caller. Let's see what this caller got to say. If the caller not scared to speak, anything. 1 second. Caller, you on the air? You want to speak?
Yeah, Brother Jay, what you say?
All right, what's good? Who is this? Who we got?
Akil the Poet, brother.
Okay.
What's going on, man?
All right, how's everything? You been listening in? You been listening in, hearing me talk junk?
You know what though? For real, I must say I'm a product of Jeff's principles since going back in high school, and one of the things.
I said you making me sound old now.
Yeah, we're dinosaurs. But one of the things that resonated through one of Jeff's principles during the time, when I was in high school was just like you said before, being yourself, knowing who you are, and not playing the game as hip hop tends to promote. Not being, not falling into the stereotype and just going outside the box and being comfortable with who you are and an approach to relationships. And I'm a product of it. I'm married now, newlywed. And a lot of that I owe to what Jeff was saying back in the day.
And you September, right?
Huh?
You got married back in September, right?
Back in May, last May.
Okay. That's right.
Akil, are you close to your computer right now, Akil?
Yeah, I'm at my computer.
Are you close to your computer?
No, I'm actually away from it.
Oh, okay. Whoever's close to the computer, I think
Okay, no, I'm on my computer. What you need?
Okay, now I was going to say turn your computer down. I didn't know if you were using your phone, your telephone, or if you were using your computer headphones because you didn't feedback.
No, I'm on my cell. It might be the connection.
Okay, don't worry about it. So Akil and Nathan, you can say that definitely you've been married, Nathan, as a result of just the hip-hop dating coach's ideology.
Wait, say that again?
I said, so we can say that you've been you decided not as a result of the hip-hop dating coach's ideology again, yeah?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
you got to take more credit than that. You got to take more credit than that. Let me just say this. Even what I say now is growing and building on the people that take this conversation serious. And when I went with Akil back in high school, he was a very aggressive individual, and we actually started what I call the player-hater list back in his high school years. We wanted to give them something that they could take to college to help them protect themselves from the fast girls and the fast guys and not run off to college and get pregnant or disease in their college years. And it was through them questioning, through them saying, this doesn't make sense. I had just come out of college, so I was like, well, let me try to lay a track a breadcrumb trail through college for them, and they were very aggressive high school students. There's people always talk about hip hop, right? And I'll say probably Akil, you was rhyming in high school, right? You was a rapper in high school, right?
Yeah, right.
So we had a very strong hip-hop presence. And people talk about, oh, hip-hop is this, hip-hop is that. Hip-hoppers still to this day have a lot of strong values, a lot of strong principles. They want good things for themselves, and many times we sell them short because we'll see somebody like A$AP Rocky who's on 106 in Park, and we'll say, oh, he's influencing kids, rather than saying, hip-hop is just very tolerant, and we let A$AP Rocky do him, and we're going to do us. And what I do is the same thing I'm doing today. I'm feeding the positive kids that's out there. There's a lot of kids in hip-hop that want to go to college. There's a lot of kids in hip-hop that want to get married, and you can't just focus on the knuckleheads that don't want to do right and not feed the positive kids. So when I get my book out, when I do my presentations, I'm challenging those knuckleheads out there that want to be like Lil Wayne. And I'm saying, here's another example. Here's another, a way to make it. I'll say, who wants to catch a venereal disease? And nobody raises their hand. But nobody knows exactly how to avoid it. I say, who wants child support? You know what I'm saying? Who wants baby mama? It's not like Akil or even me. I'm not going to tell you date one person for the rest of your life, but I will tell you, if you want to date a variety of people, then make sure you respect those people and you respect yourself. And that's how you can do it.
Definitely.
Now,
what's the name of your book? Just to add that in, what's the name of your book?
It's called The Hip Hop Dating Guide.
The Hip Hop Dating Guide, definitely. And where can they get that book from?
Right now, you can buy on my Facebook page. You can email me. You can send me a message, and I can do it through PayPal, or you can get it online. There's a couple of. I have a distributor of out in California, which is Dibble Educational Resource Materials. I'm actually doing a hip-hop dating activities book for schools and colleges, middle schools, high schools, and colleges, and for community organizations. So if you just Google the Hip-Hop Dating Guide, you'll be able to find a couple of avenues to get the book, but it's on the Internet.
Definitely, okay.
Ooh. Now, in 2004, Jeff, you had wrote and produced an award-winning movie called Gold Digger Killer. Can you tell my listeners what that was all about?
It was built off the frustration of being single and being a good guy, or at least I feel I was a good guy, meaning I never cheated on any of the girlfriends that I was with, and I tried to express myself to my best ability, but I always found I had to deal with the messed up guy's reputation. So even though I didn't cheat on any of my girlfriends, that didn't stop them from constantly suspecting that I was a cheater, that I would cheat. And it got on my nerves to the point where I hated guys that cheated. I didn't get upset with the girls because I understood where they were coming from. So I wanted to make a movie, like same way Quentin Tarantino made Django. I wanted to make a movie where I kill players. Just like Quentin Tarantino has Django killing white slave owners, I'm doing the same thing with players. So I made a movie about a girl who starts taking out players, and she becomes the gold digger killer.
Wow.
I like that.
Yeah, bro, you would love it. You would love this movie. I saw it in 2005, and I was just
where can we get that movie from, though?
You used to be able to get it in Walmart, but Jeff, where can you get it now? I think you can see it on YouTube, right?
Yeah, even the YouTubes are choppy. I would say the best place to get it is probably Netflix. It came out a little bit before Redbox. I'm going to target Redbox when I come back out. I'm going to do a re-release once I get my rights back in a couple of years. We've still been talking to some cable networks about airing it, but I say the best place right now is going on Netflix. Yeah, you probably can copies on Amazon, but you probably would have to pay more than what they sold for when they came out. So I still say the safest place is probably Netflix for right now.
Okay, so now after Gold Digger Killer, you really were going hard at this whole concept of dating. And in '05, you had presented the hip-hop dating codes. Now, what's that all about?
The hip-hop dating codes was something that I developed right around the time of Gold Digger Killer. As Gold Digger Killer was, winning awards, I was on panels answering questions on gold diggers and players and just dating in the hip-hop world. And they were saying, well, how do you avoid a gold digger? And I said, well, through good dating. Really just being a smart dater and being a good dater is how you avoid it. Same way you avoid diabetes and other health things just by eating right, just by dating right. And I had to outline what dating right was, and that became the hip-hop dating codes, and that became the basis for pretty much everything I say now, because it all goes back to dating one person at a time, balancing your attractions, not cheating, not being with somebody with a cheater, understanding that oral sex is still sex and it conveys emotions, defining your relationship. All of those are the hip-hop dating codes.
Wow.
All of those basic, simple tenets, of just dating one person at a time, not being physically intimate on the first date. Those are the things that got the Jersey Shore kids in trouble. They'd get the girl and take her back to the room, after the nightclub. And that's really, very risky. So those are all the things that I, outlined, because many times that's exactly what got a relationship in trouble. And people would come to me and say, my boyfriend, he's hanging out late at night. I will say, well, how did y'all meet? We met in a club. When is he going to marry me? Well, what is the terms of your relationship right now? Oh, I don't know. He is not even my boyfriend. Have y'all defined your relationship? Well, then, of course, y'all don't even know whether y'all going out or not. I'm not sleeping with her. We just had oral sex. Yeah, but you could still get whipped. She could throw it down like Superhead. You know what I'm saying?
So Jeff, are you married?
Yeah, I'm going on 12 years. I just celebrated 11 back in August. But,
wow, nice. Congratulations.
I didn't start being a dating coach until after I got married, because, I wanted to make sure I knew what I was talking about.
That's what's up.
It's not like I was Captain Super Date back in high school. This was a revolutionary process. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even have the skills to find a prom date after the girl I was going with father wouldn't let her go to the prom. So I missed my prom because I didn't know how to go out and talk to the young ladies. I was scared that if any of these girls that might have been my friends did go to the prom with me, I was like, man, I don't want to marry them. I may just want to go to the prom with them. I didn't know all of those different ways of relationships. So I missed out on that. Even in my 20s, after Magic Johnson came out saying he had AIDS, my dating life went through turmoil, and I ended up spending 3 years celibate. So it wasn't the easiest thing that it can be for other people, and even for a lot of people, it's a lot easier than mine. However, I didn't have I never caught a venereal disease. Only had a couple of girlfriends, so I didn't have a child till after I got married. So those are some of the champion areas, but there was some stress along the way. I spent I spent periods of time where I didn't have a girlfriend.
So do you think does that challenge you as being an expert on the field of being a dating coach, being that you didn't date as much?
No, I think really what it does for me, it builds my sincerity and makes me understand how serious it is. Because the first two people that I ever knew that died in my life, friends, not grandparents and older people, but people that I knew that I hung out with, were two guys. One guy, when I was 15, shot himself in the head after a girl said that she didn't believe. She told him to stop telling people they were going together. And he pulled a gun out and shot himself. And another friend of mine was caught in a love triangle. He dated this one girl in freshman year, and in sophomore year she broke up and dated another guy, and then she went back with him in senior year. And when she chose another guy to go to prom with, he hung himself.
Oh, wow.
You know, so to me, and even one of my good friends was a young lady that worked at the post office in Teaneck, who really loved what I was doing. And right around the time I was writing Gold Digger Killer, she killed herself 12 days after Valentine's Day. She left a note saying she was 44 and she was stressed that she would never. Not a bad-looking young lady. You know what I'm saying? So to me, my struggles help me identify with the struggles of other people, and I don't speak for the alpha males. I'll let Michael Baisden and Steve Harvey deal with those guys. I speak for the regular guy. You understand what I'm saying? The regular guy who may look real good one day, but the next day he may not get looked at. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right. And I speak for the young lady. I don't care whether she's banging in her 20s. This is a girl now that in her 30s. She may not get as many looks. She may not be able to sit at the bar and get a good quality of men. All she's attracting now is booty bandits. You know what I'm saying? Cats that's looking at her cleavage, walking up to her from backwards, looking at her behind. You know what I'm saying? So, those are the type of people that I speak for because I understand their problems. I understand the pain in love songs and poetry because I experienced it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these guys, I don't think Steve Harvey had those problems. That's why he can't really understand. He can't speak for guys like me.
How do you feel about Steve Harvey?
He had those problems?
I don't think he had to be friends with girls before he started dating them. And some guys have to do that. I counsel a bunch of high school students, guys who said they got friends that are girls that would never date them. You understand? That's a lot, and guys can understand that. They got friends that are girls that don't even look at them, but come to them with dumb questions about disrespectful guys. And this is a nice guy that has to tell her, why are you with this knucklehead? But he's a real nice guy himself. And she can't see it.
I think that's very important to actually be friends. But it's like it's hard to do. It's hard to do because you get in that friend zone. It's hard to get out.
Oh yeah. You get in that friend zone, but at the other time, you can be friends with people that aren't smart people to date either. And sometimes, that friendship is an opportunity for you to see, whoa, thank God I don't want to date that person. You know what I'm saying? And so that is a good buffer, but it gives you a chance to see how you gel. You know what I'm saying? It's just that we've been sold such a, distorted view of what love connections look like. We don't know what they are with a good one when we see one. And that's really what I'm saying.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Yeah, what he's talking about, like, I used to get a lot back in high school and some in college. This famous one, this famous line that, used to always hit me. If I'm not married in 5 years, I'll marry you.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And that goes with what Jeff was talking about, like I'm not good enough, for you to see yourself in the future right now, but later on, if all else fails, I'll pick you. That's what I had to deal with.
If I don't meet Idris Elba, you know what I'm saying? I'll be you. You know what I'm saying? So again, a lot of that. Even what I call myself, a dating coach, if you were to Google it, you would not like any of the guys that call themselves dating coaches. Because the whole culture of dating coaches is what I call in my book, Revenge of the Nerds. It's guys that learned how to focus and target women who are very vulnerable and do to them what they felt was done to them when they were single guys. So they're taking it of naivety, you know, and loneliness, hurt, and all of that, and they teach guys how to go about to meet these type of women. And you know, I despise all of that behavior just as much as I despise being a gold digger, because it's still a misrepresentation of what real feelings are. However, there is some authenticity in it, and that is the pain is real. The pain is real. So, you know, just as that girl can't find a guy, and she can't find a guy that she likes, the same thing that guy goes through when he can't find a girl. So what we really have to try to, or what I'm trying to do, is to bring those people together. And you talked about being shy. Well, I want to try to help the guys learn how not to be shy. You know, I want the girls learn how to be more forthcoming and not rely on their makeup, their jiggings. You know what I'm saying? You know, all different things. You know, like we used to hear our grandmothers talk about getting dolled up. If you watch one of those old movies, you get dressed up to attract you a man. Well, now we got more women than men, you know, and women have to be more aggressive than just looking nice. And now we have so much looking nice equipment, and when I say equipment, I'm talking beyond spank. Body shaping equipment. This is not a corset no more. We got the whole body outfit, and when you come with that much physical arsenal, now you're taking your physical qualities so high that all you're going to do is attract the guy sexually.
Right. Oh man, we could talk for days and everything. We only got like 5 minutes left and everything. I'm gonna ask you one last question before we get out. Hey, where are you based at anyway? Just first of all.
I like to say I'm virtual and I live on the internet. I live on the planet Facebook, but
I like that.
right? Because that's where I like to be. But I'm based in Miami, South Florida. Okay. I'm in a little town right outside of Miami-Dade County. So I'm down here.
And the other thing is, we did mention Steve Harvey's book. Do you like it? Is that a yes or a no? You give that thumbs up or thumbs down?
Well, I'll say no, okay, because it doesn't apply for me, nor does it make life easier for guys like me. He had something that I had to deal with, and it's personal, okay? I'm going to make sure that it's personal. He had an answer to a question that he later had to change, but he said guys will cheat because they have the opportunity. And to me, that is almost a source of relationship terrorizing, because now you have made a whole group of women paranoid that if they leave their guy alone, he is going to cheat. So it led me to attack that, say yes, there are guys that will cheat when they have the opportunity. But then there's a whole another group of guys that are an exception to the rule that almost counter that. And it's even more important to understand the guy that won't cheat more than it is to understand why guys cheat. Because you don't want to be with a guy that cheats, but you won't find a guy that doesn't cheat if you don't know what that guy looks like.
Right. Hey, Jeff, man, we enjoyed this, man. We definitely gonna have to have you back on because we can get deep with this because I enjoy anybody who don't like Steve Harvey. But we at the end of the show and everything. We had Jeff Carroll, the hip hop beating coach, here with us and everything. Jeff, hey, give him a way to get in touch with you and find your book and everything like that before you get out of here.
All you have to do, people, is Google Yo Jeff and ask your question. If you put up Yo Jeff cheating, one of my blogs will come up. Yo Jeff, the hip hop dating guide, that'll pop up. So Yo Jeff, Google that, and that'll solve all your questions right there.
That's what it is. All right, man. We appreciate it, man. Come back and join us again. We'll definitely be in touch.
And thank you. I definitely enjoy that surprise. Akil is my main man. He knows we go way back, so it's like a little brother on me. So
That's what's
thank
up.
you very much for surprising me with that. I appreciate the show. Just prove you on fire. Raw still, baby. Let's do it.
No
All
doubt.
right, thank you.
Miss Prue.
It's the Rome Show featuring Miss Prue.